Good evening, everybody. My name is Kelley Farley. I'm an independent Stampin' Art demonstrator in Karaka, Auckland, New Zealand. And tonight is the 3rd of September, Sunday evening, and today we're going to make this little pop-up. Oops, it's upside down. Didn't do that very well. This little spring pop-up card, and it's got these little bits that pop up in the center. So we're going to make one of those tonight. Hopefully not too tricky. I haven't decorated the front because I actually wanted to put the belly band on because it just held it all together. That's obviously optional, and if you don't want a belly band, then you can just decorate the front of it. Alright, let me just pop that there while I go and find the video, because Facebook doesn't seem to do notifications anymore. And I can see there's a couple of people who have joined me, so thank you very much for joining me. I'll put that on mute so it doesn't... Alright, please do say hi if you're popping in. Alright, so we're going to start with, I'm using Country Lane Designer Series paper. So this one has these cute little foxes on it, which I've used on this piece here, which I ran out of. Hi Alison. Then this one's got cute little bunnies on it. On the other side they're all just sort of plain, hi Lisa, plain patterns, and then this one's cute trees, and then it's got like little flowers on the back. So what we're going to use is, we've got this piece here, which is a quarter piece of cardstock. So it is, I think I actually made it down to 5 3/4 just because it was easier for the rest of the measurements. So 5 3/4 by 4 1/8 inches. So if you were to cut your A4 into quarters, it would be that, just taking a smidge off that so that it brings it down to 5 3/4, and then your designer series paper is 5 1/2. Maybe it doesn't look like I've cut that right, but anyway, 5 1/2 by 4. So maybe that's my issue, that next she needs to be 5, and getting there, Maureen, thank you. I don't have coughing fits that last, you know, a good 30 seconds to a minute anymore. I can actually, I am still a little bit chesty, but not too bad, thank you. And then this piece here is 5 by 4 1/8, so the same height or the same width, whichever way you want to look at it, as your base, but just slightly shorter, so that it kind of gives that centered off look. And then the designer series paper on top of that is, yeah, I have to cut the other one down, 4 3/4 by 3 7/8. That's what I've got written down. Then we've got another piece here, which I've made narrower, so it fits. Let me put that there. So it fits kind of slightly smaller than that, but it's going to be folded. So that's 9 by 3 3/4. Then you need 2 pieces, which will be your mechanism, and this is 4 by 3/4. You can have it as wide or as, and you don't have to use white, it's up to you, as wide as you want it or as thin as you want it, and then just decorating with stamps, inks. So I've got a few labels here that I'm going to use to decorate it. So I've also, I thought I had, no, that's from my other card. Alright, so let's get started. So we'll move this out of the way, and those out of the way, stamping out of the way. So this is our card base. I'm just going to trim this down a little bit more, so it actually is 3 7/8. Oh, that was not good timing. That goes to show how my brain is working. Not super quick today. Okay, so this is 3 7/8. by 5.5. Alright, so then this is 5, oh, it should be, no, I left it at that. It should be 5 3/4 by 4 1/8, which if you're doing that is 10.5 centimeters wide. Alright, and then it is 14.6 long. Alright, so we're going to glue that on. That looks better, doesn't it? We're just going to glue that onto there, and then the same with our top piece, so that we know that this is all ready to go and it's had time to stick down. I'll do it now. How's everyone doing? I hope you've had a nice weekend, and if you have a father figure to celebrate, that you have had a lovely day with them. We had an early celebration because Piper was working today all day, so but Matt and I went out and did the Father's Day shopping, so that because he wanted specific things. So 1/8. It's not quite. My eyes must have been. It was quite late last night when I was doing this, so my eyes are a bit off. So just taking that little tiny sliver off. Probably not going to make any difference when I put it on, but in my brain it does. So we're just going to pop some glue on there. Put that on there. Cute little bunnies ping against the trees. Alright, so now we've got our centerpiece, and this is 3 3/4 by 9. Alright, so you need to use your you'll need the extension arm, and we're going to come in at 5, and we're just going to score right across at 5, so you don't need your cutting blade. Make sure you're using the lighter blade. If you've got our trimmer, we know that you can get the extra cutting blades, but sometimes this little one pops out and it can be easily lost. As one of the online exclusives, you can now buy a 2-pack of those in case so I'm tempted to get one just in case mine flies off somewhere, because I just have it on my trolley so it doesn't get, like, you know, it could easily. Alright, so then when you come down to 7, so you've got a score at 5 and then a score at 7, and then you've got the end at 9. And so let me just move that out of the way for now. I'm going to put that, that's not in the way. So using our bone folder, I'm going to fold that over, and we want it to move nicely, so we're going to go both ways a couple of times just to, I just use the thick, and it's actually it's like the standard one feels a bit thinner, so but this one feels, you know, I don't know what I'm trying to say, it feels thick, it feels like a standard piece of card, whereas the normal white is the same thickness, but just the different fibre compression makes things look a little bit different. So we're getting this shape with it. Alright, so we want that little pop-up thing to be happening. So then, now that we've got this on, this is actually going to go on our card base. So you could make it smaller. Let's make it a little bit shorter, because then we don't get to see our DSP otherwise. So we're currently at 3 3/4. So let's go 3 1/4. Let's take 1/2 inch off it. 3 1/4. Get that out of the way. So now, when we center this, we can see a little bit more of our designer series paper. So we want to make sure that that's kind of centered in the middle there, like that. On the back, so on the full piece here, if you want to do any stamping on here, you can do that now, alright, because otherwise, you know, crafting accidents happen, and whilst they're not accidents necessarily, they're what do we call them? Creative licenses. Sometimes we're not happy with our creative license and we want to take it off. So if you stamp everything before you put it on, or if you put it on a label, then you'll be a lot happier. Okay, so if we've got that like that, alright, then this piece is going to be stuck over the front there like that. Alright, so you could make this bit shorter if you wanted to. So instead of being 9, you could make it 8.5, and then have 4.5, 2 and 2. It's up to you. So we're going to make our mechanism. And on this one, my example and the one that I saw has 2. You don't have to have 2. You can just have 1 if you want. Or you can just put it together. And see, there we go. I'll just like flicks out. Alright, so we've got a piece of cardstock, which is 3/4 wide and 4 inches long. And you're just going to do 1/2 inch. Yeah, 1/2 inch at each end. I'm going to do 3 of them at each end. So 1/2, 1, 1.5. Rotate it around. 1/2, 1. Now, sometimes holding that can be a little bit painful in terms of it's quite fiddly. So what you could do is, because that's 3/4, you could make a piece that is 3 inches wide, do all your score, and then cut down the middle to get your 1/2. Up to you how you want to do it. Because I put the instructions as being 2 pieces, I've left as 2 pieces to show you. Alright, so you're just going to score and burnish the score marks on each side, and you want them to be like a zigzag concertina kind of effect, and I just like to go in between those and do that as well. And so you've got a centerpiece which should be 1 inch. Yeah, mine's, I found last night that I cut them a little bit short. So you're going to have it so that it looks like that. Alright, so let's bring my other one in. So you're going to fold into the middle, out, and then back in again. I think one of my score marks is off there, but that's okay. So you're going to end up with 2 pieces like that. Alright, this piece here is going to be attached to your card. This piece here is going to be attached to the pop-up. So whichever way you end up doing it, it's entirely up to you. I found, so in this one here, I've got the pop-up and it's on here. So it pops up, and then as you open it, it kind of, it'll sit like that. Okay, and then you've got this pop-up piece here that pops up when you open it. So when I did the pop-up for the top layer, actually for both of them I think, I glued this bit first. So let's do that. I'm going to pop that on, and I like to do the top layer first before I do the inside one. So I'm just going to center this, get it nice and centered in the, and because I'm using liquid glue, you want to just give it a chance to grab and take hold. So then that naturally pops, and then this naturally pops as well. So we're going to put glue on here, and then this is going to sit on the top. You want to get it so that it sits and covers the white cardstock. Alright, so we're going to pop that on. So I found that the easiest way was to just glue across there. Make sure my image is around the right way. Line it up with the edge there. and move. So you just line it up with the edge of where your white cardstock is, and then make sure that it's lined up with the top and the bottom. And then again, if you're using liquid glue, just give it a couple of 30 seconds to take hold. Everyone's very quiet tonight. Okay, so that should... One of my things has gone the wrong way. Oh no, it's stuck. Just got a bit of glue stuck to it. So when you open it up, just make sure that it has got that concertina piece in the middle there. Otherwise, you won't get that effect of it popping up. But so when you close it and it pops there, look. And then so what you can do is it does just fold down, folds back underneath. And then this one here, I have got, I'm going to use foxes, or am I going to use, no, what did I use on there? Plain. So that one's for the front. No, it's not. That one's for the inside. That one's for the front. So I'm just going to let that sit for a minute. I'm just going to stamp this one. Now this is a retired set, but I really like the sentiment that happens to be in here. So I get rid of most of my retired sets, but this one, I think there's about 3 sentiment ones that I've kept for my personal use. So, oops. Oh, just broke my nail. And annoying. Sorry, I just have to. Otherwise, it's going to annoy me, and then I'm never. It's not ever going to get right. So this says, "Hope your day is fantabulistic, fabulous, and fantastic, all rolled into one." So I'm just going to pop that on here. Now these are using the countryside. Yeah, countryside corner dies. So this is the countryside designer series paper, and then we've got the countryside, and they layer really nicely like that. Just going to put some glue on there. Make sure our foxes, although half of them are covered up, make sure our DSP is the right way round. Okay, so this has had a bit of time to settle into its new form. What we want is, we want it, and actually you probably could have done, should have done this first. So it's going to line up with the edge there, or a little bit either side of it. So this one, I actually think I will pop this on, because then I can center it. So we're just going to pop them in together. So pop that on there. So you've got the open side, and you just center that in the middle there. And again, hold it in place so that it gets tacky and stays in the right place. Okay, so now we're going to do the back, and we're just going to look again, making sure that we can center it where we need to put it. You want to make sure that you're using a really strong adhesive for this because it is a moving part, and so you want to make sure that you've got space. Now, if you are someone who likes to write a lot, you can write here or a little bit around it. You don't have to put this piece in, you can just use it blank and have the front of it just popping off. The other thing you can do is, I'll just hold that down, is you can put a piece on the back and have the message on the back. Alright, so that looks like it's got a grab hold of it. Alright, so there we go, that piece there is our pop-up, and then our front cover is our pop-up. And so when you open it, it pops like that. It's a bit hard to show you like this, but it's quite, I thought it was quite a cute card. If you don't want to put a belly band on, you could just decorate the front of it like that, or you might want to just use a bit of ribbon. I'm just going to use these flowers. Use this one. So this is the Cheerful Daisies. And then the inside piece, which I need to stamp off to get the tone on tone effect. Using an, no, I would imagine not. You're going to be very busy, Alison. I'm sure you're going to love it though, but I'm sure you'll be too busy for card making. Or it might be some light relief on the weekend. Let's put a centre so they don't look weird. Like so. Okay, now I'm going to have to, right, there we go. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad you're looking forward to it. Yes, you are going to be tired. At least you've got quite a cool, and I don't know if they do anything for it, but it's Tongan Language Week this week and Māori Language Week next week, so those will be short. There might be some fun things that you're doing at the school for that, which would be quite cool. Let's do some ribbon rather than a belly band. And I've got this new ribbon that's just arrived from the mini catalogue. And let's go this way. So it can be tied here. And then if we put our daisies up here, get them in the right place. Probably could have been tied a bit tighter. You don't want to buckle your card, but you want to make sure that it's not too loose either. There we go. Alright, so let's put these in the middle, and we'll put our flowers around this way. Now, because I've put glue on the base of this, and my ribbon's quite thin, I don't know how well you can see that, but it's quite sheer. It's kind of almost a mesh. That glue should hold it in place, and then when the recipient of the card undoes the ribbon, they shouldn't lose the ribbon, because I might just need to put a bit more. Maybe I left it too long. So just put a bit there. Oh, it's stuck down there. I just didn't put enough. Maybe. So let me just hold all of that down so that it sticks in place. And if you're really worried about it, you can get a couple of blocks like that, just to keep that pressure even on there. Alright, well, let's leave that for a minute, and I've got two lovelies, Karen and Andrea, in the drawer. So let's flip that up and do the drawer from the week before I was sick. And congratulations, Andrea. Let me know what you would like, and I will get that out to you. Alright, so let's turn this down and see if that's enough. And we'll open this. Oh, it's stuck in there. Why is it stucky? Hang on, I just got a little bit, so that needs to stay open for a while. It's just a little bit tacky in there, so that's why it keeps sticking. So that one, which it's really hard to display so that you can see them, and then this one, which pops as well. But if I pop it that way, you can have a look at it that way. And then the same with this one. I think I quite like the ribbon instead of the belly band. It means that you don't lose the decoration of the front, so that might be something that I change. But you know, it's also good to have something different. Oh, thanks, Mary. Yeah, I do feel, we went out today and I felt a little bit lightheaded, but I think we were just kind of rushing we had a time limit, so to make sure we had everything done. But thank you. Alright, so that is our card tonight. Please, if you are going to make a card, please do share it with me. If you are not sure how to post it on the page, then please send it to me in a message and I will post it on your behalf. But yeah, love to see what you are making. As much as possible Stampin' Up products, but if you don't have a lot of Stampin' Up products, then some would be really good. Yeah, Lisa, I hate to say it, but mine's been off and on since the holidays, so it just flared up again last week, which was really bad. But it's just kind of, I can feel it in the background the whole time. So yeah, I feel ya. I did some washing, stripped the bed and remade it, and yeah, that took a bit of an effort, so but that's right, getting into bed tonight with clean sheets is always a nice feeling to start the week. Alright, thank you for joining me, ladies. It's 8 o'clock, dead on, so I'm going to head off, leave you to your evening. Thank you very much. Happy Father's Day to any of those fathers that are out there that may be watching with their partners or their children, but I hope that you've been celebrated and cherished. Alrighty, thank you very much. See you later.